Yes, my name is Pastor Jack Hibbs, Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, and thankfully represented about 3,000 people this morning that were out on the Capitol steps. And my passion is more one of experience. I'm a survivor of an abortion, December 24th, 1957. I'm very glad to be here. But in light of all of that, what I'd like to draw to your attention and maybe appeal to the more moral side of you, not to take away anything from what was said. The fact of the matter is we're talking about a human life. We're talking about this legislation that if it's passed, that the perinatal, meaning that it can be defined or not defined, is very loosely open. I assume that all of you have read the bill, that we're talking about, in a sense, legalizing murder because nobody can investigate. If you've read that, nobody can determine how this child died. It was mentioned a moment ago that a woman could be depressed or confused after pregnancy, and during that time, the child is dead. Why? We need to find out why. It's not to prosecute or to bring anything against anyone, but it's the value of human life. And what my argument is to acknowledge the fact that we are going down a road that is not only one that could be criminal. I mean, personally, with my high view of life itself, that those that are supporting this bill, they're supporting a bill that legalizes the termination of a born child, a child that is now beyond the age of debate. Is it life or is it a blob or is it whatever? This is a living, breathing child. And in the case where there's a stillborn, we have mitigated these things for centuries as a culture. But we're going down a path that is dangerous and that is an affront. And again, today's display at the Capitol steps is something that all of you, I beg of you to take notice of. And I understand, Mr. Rodriguez, we live in almost the same neighborhood. I understand that it's time for him to retire. Thank you for your service. But this is something that is critical. It's not going to go away no matter how it's voted upon, because this is a hill for moral people to die on. And I'll leave you with this. The Bible says in Proverbs 31, defend those who have no voice and those who are destined to be crushed. That's a 3,000-year-old proverb that sounds like it was written yesterday. And I would ask you to consider that rather than bring something about that would weigh upon not only your conscience, but with all due respect, it's not your conscience I'm concerned about. It's that child that should have a right to live. And all of you are going to have that on you. And as citizens, we must hold you accountable to defend life as one who had a life defended. I'm happy, was happy, still am happy to be able to be alive and to testify before you today. I urge you, please, on behalf of the citizens of California, to oppose AB 2223. Thank you.